Hey up and welcome to the video. Every day when we wake up and open our eyes, we start to make decisions. One of those decisions could be to go back to sleep, or we could decide to get up and get out. And that's what we did in this video. I decided to take Helen into the Peak District to see what the heather was looking like. And you've seen from the intro footage there that the colours were looking quite nice. However, on the ground, things were looking a little patchy. So in this video, we make lots of decisions. And one of those decisions is to decide which image will go into the slideshow at the end of the video. So without further delay, let's get over to Surprise View in the Peak District National Park. We're just walking up from Surprise View car park, and I was hoping for a nice surprise on the moorland here, and I haven't had a surprise. The heather that we've come to photograph this morning is not really out as we'd like it to be. It's Wednesday the 6th of August, and I normally go and try and photograph the heather late. In previous years I've been too late when it's gone like a burnished orange. So I thought this year we'd get out of the traps early and see if we can get some shots of the heather. We will, but maybe they won't be as optimal as we'd like them to be. But it's a beautiful morning in the Peak District. It's nice and cool, it's 13 degrees. I brought Helen with me. Promised her a breakfast after, if they're still serving breakfast by the time we get somewhere. But it's a beautiful morning, nice and refreshing. No midges, not yet. But there is some colour. The bit I've just walked through is very dull. As we're getting further in, we are getting some colour, patchy colour. So in photography we have to make lots of decisions. Where to go, when to go, what to bring, where to park, what to wear. And that's the same when we get here. When we get here, we're making those other decisions that affect the photography. What to take, how to take it, when to take it, what lens to use, what focal length we're going to take the shot at. Finding the shot, of course, first finding the composition, and then deciding whether it's worth taking. And it's always strange, there's something about the first shot of the day you take. It's that, people call it a warm-up shot or whatever, and it's like you want to get that first shot in the bag. And in front of me we've got a fence. Behind the fence we've got little dapples of colour of the heather. And then here, right in the foreground, we've got a little bush of heather, and it's a lovely colour, it's a lovely bloom, but is there enough light on it? And this is where the decision making starts. This looks really nice, we've got a path behind, we've got the fence going across, and we've got this in the foreground. And that's the decision. The decision now is, do we take this? Do we go wide? Do we focus stack it? Do we just focus on the heather, because this video is about the heather? I'm going to take it. Okay, we're going to give this shot a go. So I need to come down low, live view on surprise view, and let's just come down. So we'll come out to starting out at 24mm. I quite like it. We need to up the shutter speed a little, so we'll increase the ISO to do that. F11 250th, and we've got the heather. In fact, we've got some tufts of grass just in front of the heather, and then we've got the fence line behind. If I go higher up, we can see a little bit of the path. Does that look better? No, let's feature the heather in the shot. So just as I've took the shot, the sun's gone in, the light's gone. Hey. So let's have a look and see if there's a chance it's going to come back out, because it's only a very small fluffy cloud. Here it comes, bit of light, makes a difference. I'd say this part here is in full bloom. Okay, I think there, the shot, including this rock, was better. Not epic, just a warm-up shot. And of course, when we get back to the computer, we've got to make more decisions on how to process and which actual image we do like.
Okay, so I took two images here at two different angles, and one for me is better than the other. So if we look at the image on the left, I don't like the fence line. We've got a great big gap there where you can see the mesh. I do like the rock on the left hand side, and I like the rock face on the right hand side. But the image on the right for me is better. If we start at the bottom, the grasses sit nicely on the right hand side in the foreground. The heather is more ball shaped. The fence line looks much stronger because we haven't got a missing post. And the sky has got some nicely positioned fluffy clouds in this scene. So the image on the right hand side is the one I'm going to choose for the slideshow.
Another decision is, once I've took the first shot, I tend to put the camera on the tripod and carry it. Because you see a lot of photographers stopping to take a shot, and they get the camera out the bag and they put it on the tripod, they take the shot, they take the camera off and put it back in the bag and they walk on. And that's a bit of faff, and we don't like faff. So camera's on now, and this kind of puts you in a different frame of mind, because the camera's ready, it's near to you, it's on the tripod. It's only a few seconds just to pop those legs open. And hey, that doesn't sound right, does it? It's just a few seconds to pop the legs open of the tripod to start to get ready to take a shot that you're going to see. Now, okay, so let's move further up onto the more, I can't stop laughing now. Come on, cut. Okay, so this shot here, got a beautiful piece of heather on this side. That's going to be in the left hand side of the frame, and then this side's all grey and rocks. So we've got the contrast of the beautiful pinks of the heather against the grey of the rocks. Almost monotone black and white, the rocks. Again, not a fantastic shot. We've made the decision to go wide because then we can make the decision to crop in if required.
So two crop options here. The one on the left, at first I didn't like this. I thought there was too much grey rock in it. I applied the crop that you can see on the right hand side, and this made the bush of heather more prominent in the scene and reduced the amount of grey rocks. However, the image on the left has grown on me. I like the way the heather comes up from the right hand side and wraps round the scene. So for the slideshow, I'm going to choose the left hand crop.
Right, here's a shot I really like, and we've got a view. I think we're looking towards Win Hill, I think, and we've got two rocks in the foreground, and then on the right-hand side of the composition, we have some colour with the heather. Of course, a couple of more weeks and the colour here will look much better, but yeah, this is probably the best shot so far today. Two rocks, foreground of heather, and in the background we've got a view of the wonderful Peak District, Win Hill, and it could be back Tor, I'm not sure. Okay, I like that a lot. Again, I've gone nice and wide in the scene, so it could be a letterbox crop, I'm not sure. I might crop right in on it. More decisions to make in your photography.
The choice in this scene was very easy. Both these crops work in their own right, so they're both going to go in the slideshow.
Here's a nice little shot. I noticed on this rock here, we've got a little bush of heather growing from the inside of the rock, and I'm just going to do a bit of an isolated shot on it. So focusing on the heather itself, with the path and the fence line in the background. I'm going to take the aperture down to f5.6 to blur the background. In fact, I'm going to take it down further, f2.8. Okay, I've took a few different shots here at different focal lengths, at different apertures, and we'll show you the shot that I like the most. Maybe there's a wider shot, actually, just looking at it. There is. Decisions. And in fact, I think I like the wider shot more than the other shot.
So this is quite a difficult choice, to be honest, between the two images. I think they both look quite nice to a degree, but I'm going to go for, which one am I going to go for? I think I'm going to go for the f6.3 because there's slightly more of the heather in focus and there's a little bit more detail in the background. The 2.8 is too blurred. So I'm going to go for the f6.3 into the slideshow. We then stood back and turned around and looked at the wider scene in front of us and captured this one. And I just love that little tuft of heather on that rock there on the left hand side. So this will go into the slideshow. So whilst Helen was filming this B-roll, she went through a gate and got this shot here, which I really like. I should have followed her, shouldn't I? Meanwhile, I captured this scene and did a letterbox crop because the sky above was not great. So both these images will be added to the slideshow.
So here's a nice view looking towards Higator. A little bit of colour in the landscape, but again, in 2 weeks' time, that should look well nice. The way we've walked this morning, we've had the light when it's come out to our right hand side, which has been ideal for a shot like this because the light is just coming down onto the landscape. Very nice. Quite like that. I think it's going to be a crop. Decision making. I think I'm going to have to crop the bottom out of the scene. There's nothing particular happening in the sky, or as we speak, there's some nice fluffy clouds just coming. So can we get those fluffy clouds there to sit within the scene? I think we can.
Okay, here's the choice of two images, and I'm going to go for the one on the right because the cloud formations filling out the space in the blue sky, whereas the image on the left, there's quite a lot of exposed blue sky. So the image on the right will be joining the slideshow. And this next image, I'm going to include this one as well because I pulled in, I think it's 70mm, and I just like the light in this one. Nothing happened in the sky, but yeah, for the light we'll include this one.
This shot I'm taking now is quite a common shot taken up on surprise view. You'll see the rock, it appears in many different compositions. I think normally, I think I'm further back, I'm not sure, maybe to the left there. I'm just taking the shot of the rock, a little bit of heather surrounding it, but I'm more interested in the background with the Higator there. That looks quite nice. But again, I've took this fairly wide. I say wide, I'm at 70mm, but if we go too wide, we don't get in what I want. And I want the landscape to be compressed behind. The rock's just sitting underneath Higator, just, but is it far enough? Do I want to raise the camera higher? So I might take a handheld shot to try and get it to my height. So where I'm looking with my eyes, it's sitting probably better under Higator. So we'll pop the camera off the tripod. We'll pop the camera off the tripod and we'll do live view and we'll take it handheld. And that now puts it at a better height. And I'm focusing on the rock. I'll just change the focus to down 2/3 of the way up in the scene, and that's better actually. So we have got the colour of the losing the tripod. We've got the colour of the heather in the scene. Just want a bit of light to pop out a bit more.
Two shots to compare here. So we've got the left hand side where the rock is too close to Higator, and then we've got the right hand side where I raised the camera up and brought the line of the rock below Higator. So the second one there will be the image for the slideshow. Here's a wider shot, 24mm, and the rock was lost here for me, so I actually cropped that image in half and produce this one. As we walked forward and got near to the stone, I noticed this potential composition, so fine-tuned it a little and put Higator on the right hand side and then the stone dominating the scene. Another one for that slideshow.
Okay, this is a shot I've took before and I just love this pointy rock that we've got here. It's got a natural point on it and I try and line it up so it's pointing towards Higator. And this morning there's some light on it, and I think previous shots that I've got there's not been light on it, so I'm going to take this, I'm going to pull in just to bring the rock closer and have the landscape in the background again. That same view actually, I love that view of towards Higator, and the heather over there is just not doing anything colour-wise. There's not much of it out at all actually, there's more out here on the surprise view.
Here's an obvious choice, image on the left, no light on the rock. Image on the right, we've got nice light cutting across that rock which is showing the contours, so that right hand image will go into the slideshow. So then I climbed on top of this large rock and started to take images looking towards Higator again, and Helen took this shot which turned out to be a good image for the thumbnail video, so thank you very much, Helen. checks in the post. And from here, from this vantage point, I got these two shots here. And for me, the one on the right is the winner here. I love the contours in the rock and the leading lines and the converging lines that you get from that right-hand image. The left one, not so powerful, and the light as well is also nicer on that right-hand side image. Okay, lots of decisions made there in that shoot, and we're now going to see the results in the slideshow, where you'll see some of Helen's shots that she's took from her iPhone, and also some still shots from the drone, where you probably see most of the colour. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you like this content. Pop a comment in the bottom. Give the video a like, and what are you going to decide to go out and shoot next? Or are you going to decide to have a lay-in? On that note, we'll end the video, and here's the slideshow.